been called one of the most powerful men in wireless and the most connected men on the planet. He controls 40% of the world's mobile traffic and operations are spread across 180 countries. Hans Vestberg of Ericsson, such a pleasure to have you on NDTV.
Thank you very much.
So the big question is where we are headed in this digital transformation that we are currently in, Hans. You see a world where 90% of the world's population has mobiles by 2021.
Yeah, we are heading into a very rapid technology revolution right now. I mean, it took us 25 years where we stand today, where we have roughly 7 billion mobile subscriptions in the world. The main part is on 2G, meaning no data possibilities. But if we look fast forward to 2021, we're going to have 90% of the Earth's population having 3G and 4G coverage, and we're going to have almost 7 billion mobile broadband subscriptions. That means that we, in 5 years, going to have more than 2 times more people having access to internet, and it took us 25 years to where we are right now. So definitely the whole technology that is coming out, mobility, broadband and cloud, and the economies of scale is just pushing it, so each and everyone should have an ability to be part of this digital economy.
Hans, this is going so fast, and I know India is one of the countries where you have interesting bets. You're going to start your second manufacturing facility in Pune very soon. In July, is it?
Yes.
Tell me about the interest that you have in India and how India can capture a part of this revolution.
We have been long in India, and we have been there for a long, long time, and we think India has a fantastic opportunity. I think also the Indian government has a clear vision of using the technology to connect people and actually make a sustainable growth, because India are growing economically and you need to have a sustainable growth in these days. So I think that we see that as a huge opportunity both for India and for all the key stakeholders in the country. So I think that is in front of me when I see the next steps in India going from 2G to 3G and 4G, enabling the citizens with different public services, starting with smart cities, which are enabling sustainable growth. You can pool the economic growth that many countries need with sustainability. And I think that India has a clear plan here. It's all about execution, and I think that's where companies like Ericsson is coming in to be part of that execution.
And I know you met with Prime Minister Modi as well. So can you tell me exactly about smart cities and how Ericsson will play a role in that? Because many are saying now because of the problems in land reforms, we can't start a totally greenfield project. So we'll be converting existing cities with technology. How will this work?
You're absolutely right. And yes, I met Prime Minister Modi for just a while ago, and we discussed which areas are the most important to start in a smart city. There are a couple of ones. I think one is, of course, the whole idea to do social sort of impact, everything from digital education, digital healthcare. That's important. But after that, we talk a lot about smart grids, doing the utilities being much smarter so you don't have waste of electricity. And the other thing very important for a city is the transport system. The transport system has to use a much more of technology in order to be much more smart traffic management and all of that. And ultimately, the public safety has to use technology. Those 3 areas that I talked about, utilities, traffic or transport and public safety, they are 65 to 70% of a smart city. Then there are other things as well. But here you really need to think how you do it, because you have so many cities, so you need to transform where you are from. You don't start from green field. So you need to take it step by step and doing it in the right way.
How much would you be willing to invest in the project?
No, I think that we think this is the only way to make a sustainable world and make it so. We are investing in India both in resources. We have grown from some 3,000 employees in India some 5-6 years ago. We are over 25,000 right now, and we are investing in a second factory. So for us, this is a very, very important market, and we really want to be part of contributing in making a much more sustainable India and a growing economy in India.
And Mr. Vestberg, you have operations across 180 countries, so I'm assuming you meet leaders from all these various countries. How does India stand in that? The current government and its policies to business, has something dramatically changed?
I can only judge from, I meet a lot of heads of state all around the world, so I usually judge them on the technology savviness and how they think about that. Then politics in all other senses I'm not making any major comments on, but I think that what we've seen in all the world, a dramatic change from basically 30 countries in the world having a broadband plan. Right now it's 140 countries. And the next step for all these countries having a broadband plan for the country is to using the broadband to be much more efficient. And I think India has a clear plan here. They have a vision and a mission how to make smart cities, how to using the technology. Then of course it's a long journey. But just that you think about this infrastructure as the 21st century's infrastructure, that is an important. And I think that India has that mindset, and I think that many companies and industries are willing to be part of that.
And one of that is Cisco as well, with whom you have an interesting partnership, $1 billion revenue model for both of you in that partnership. How does that business model work in context of India?
No, I think that we have a strategic partnership with Cisco that we announced in November last year. Very much we're complementary in certain areas, so we are doing joint offerings. Next generation networks, 4G and 5G networks is an obvious one. But also we're exploring if we can work together in Internet of Things and smart cities, etc., where we are doing different things. I mean, Ericsson is very strong on mobile infrastructure and services, and of course Cisco is the world leader on routers and everything around that. That's elements you need for doing a smart city. So yes, we can probably contribute together and see that we can support countries in this transformation.
You also have a partnership with Airtel in India regarding the 4G and LTE rollout. Just describe how that partnership works, and are you happy expanding that?
We basically have a partnership with all carriers in India, so talking about one another is always a challenge, but we have all to say that Airtel is a long-term partner of Ericsson. We have worked with them for many, many years, and of course we are driving every day to continue to be a loyal partner to them, and I think that their ideas, of course, is doing as many others are doing in the world. They're transforming from 3G to 4G with the superior technology to give consumers higher speed, better bandwidth, and of course a much better and seamless experience to the internet.
I think you are one of the big speakers when it comes to digital transformation and the fourth industrial revolution. But, you know, in India, we share a unique problem with a lot of emerging markets in developing countries. That is that there is a huge gap between our haves and have-nots. And that gap seems to be getting wider as technology gets better. How can you change that? How can you give access for all and make lives better despite going so fast in change?
I think the whole telecom sector has a unique feature, and that is basically we use the same standard of technology in any country. So I sell the same equipment in Sweden, in India, in US. That's the same equipment because we use the same standard. That means that anyone is benefiting of the global volumes, and that goes for handsets as well, mobile phones, because when the enormous pressure coming that you have a high volume, the prices are coming down. And I usually say on mobile phones, for every $10 you reduce the price on a smartphone, 100 million people can buy it. So it is for everyone, and we are driving global standards in our industry with our partners in order to actually make everybody have a chance to be connected.
So you think this will rapidly spread in India as well? This statistic is pretty amazing. For every $10 you reduce the handset price, 100 million people get access to it.
Yeah, they can afford to buy it.
So in India, how soon can that happen?
I think that we're going to see a very rapid growth of mobility broadband in India based on these facts, and I think that we see it all around the world. So definitely it's going to go fast, and many people are going to opt in to be part of this and getting services. But it's not only, sometimes we talk so much about getting a smartphone, it's great to get entertainment and all of that, and YouTube or whatever it might be. But remember also, it gives information. Very critical information of public offerings, if it's healthcare, education, things like that, and people are getting educated, and that's so important for our planet that you get more information, and that's going to level the playing field between everyone. Going to take time, but definitely we're on that path.
I'm going to ask you about global concerns here. I know we are sitting in chilly Davos, but you have a lot of issues which are burning hot on the world stage. China particularly, and the fall of oil. How does that impact the rest of the world and India? Perhaps you can speak from your global corporate view.
I think if you look around the globe, of course, it's a lot of things happening at the moment. Of course, we see news every day coming out from different economies and things like that. I think in general, you need to believe in something you're doing. I believe heavily in that mobility, broadband and cloud can transform our society to a positive way. And I think that you need to have in mind. And I think that can actually pull the economic growth we're after and the sustainability we need. But still, of course, there are going to be economies coming up and down. But I see a less of a correlation of this very important infrastructure that we are coming out with together with our customers, together with countries all around the world. So you need to be focused on that, what is really good and what will really bring it forward. That's usually good for the company, it's good for the shareholders, it's good for the employees, and it's good for the customers.
I know you're the first non-engineer in the 139-year history of Ericsson, but just describe to me what, to your mind, will be the Internet of Things. This is the big vision. What will a normal day in the next century look like?
I think it's going to be very different. I think we have been working a couple of years right now to connecting things. It's great to have a connected car, great to have a connecting fridge. I think what we're going to see in the future is, of course, that you connect them all to a system. And it's going to be efficiency, sustainable solutions. The cars can move in between them. The fridge can actually make all the groceries flowing better in the system. It should make a sustainable planet. All that is a future and a day in the future when you're going to have the connectivity and the Internet of Things to system and processes where you're going to optimize your life, your industry, and the society.
And it's coming really soon.
Definitely.
Vestberg, many thanks indeed for speaking with us.
Thank you.